to being a feminist 20 years ago and now is a completely different story. I think we need to go back to looking at men as if they were human beings as well. It's not only us that can be hurt, that can be injured, but it's also them that can bleed the same way that we bleed. And if you wouldn't do something to a fellow female, why would you do that to a man? Hey guys, welcome to my channel again, and I decided I'm gonna start making videos every week now, at least one. I want to talk about the subjects that are kind of part of the Explore Your Shadow team, and they will be about the subjects nobody wants to talk about, because that's me. I talk about things nobody wants to talk about, so that's been me like throughout the ages. So today I want to talk about why feminism mostly doesn't work. I know I'm gonna make a lot of people angry with this video, and but I'm not gonna talk about equal rights, because that's the thing that we need. I'm gonna talk about why feminism has failed so many women around the world in their personal relationships, and why feminism in long term doesn't work. Okay. If you're a woman like me that grew up in a society which in my home, a man and a woman, they weren't the same, but in my country they kind of were. In most of the cases, I never felt like I wasn't allowed to educate myself, or I didn't have equal rights at work. I always kind of felt like I didn't have to fight too much to get the same standards. I studied music, so it might be the profession that I decided to take on, or maybe it's just me. Maybe I wasn't equal to men, but I used my female kind of qualities to even get more than men did throughout life, and I don't think that's kind of bad. It's men were using the same kind of attitude throughout their lives with domination, strength, and leaderships. So a bit of cuteness, if it helps, I don't give a fuck. Let's just go there. If it helps me to get what I want, I am not afraid to use my femininity to get there. I am not afraid to use my leadership skills either. So it's kind of, I just use whatever I could in order to get to the place where I wanted to be. And I am very intuitive, so I could just straight away realize what people would like from me, and if I wanted something from them, I would just give them. But let's go back to the subjects why I think that in your personal relationship feminism doesn't work. Okay. If we look at a man's quality and female's quality, these aren't the same. And I'm not talking about sexes, I am talking about masculine energy and the feminine energy, which are two different kinds of energies. And each one has its positive aspects and negative aspects. And also, they work together perfectly. They fulfill each other. They're a perfect match for each other. We can see this flow of power exchange in BDSM, and that's why BDSM works perfectly, because everybody knows where their place is, and they know that they want to be on this side or on this side. In modern relationship, nobody knows where their place is anymore. And if you're a woman, and I talked with so many females around the world, so I moved a lot, and the thing I learned about females is that we do want to feel safe. This is the basic thing that we're looking for. Even if you're polyamorous, even if you're promiscuous, even if you're changing a partner every day in your life, or you're asexual, you still want to feel safe. And in order to feel safe, you need a man or a woman or whoever that's gonna provide you this security. And if you're a really kind of hard-ass feminist, you are not gonna allow a man to make you feel safe. And then you're gonna kind of end up feeling safe with yourself, which is never fulfilling. These kind of relationships are not fulfilling. I know this is a kind of really hard subject to talk about, but I think feminism has reached a point where a lot of women are using feminism in order to destroy men and to destroy their masculinity and to destroy their power to lead you throughout life. And no matter how hard you try to be self-sufficient, it's not the way things work. We all need someone. And if you're a woman, you need someone to take care of you. I'm sorry, but that's the way things are. You might be a very masculine woman and you might have this leadership and kind of, you might be a man inside actually. But then you're gonna look for something else. You're gonna look for feminine energy outside you, and you still need somebody. And kind of attitude that feminism has like pulled itself to, it's very destructive. I know a lot of, I was like watching kind of show on the television the other day, like accidentally, where I was making food because I don't watch TV. And there was this lady, and she had really short hair, and she was wearing a tuxedo, and she was talking about how there's not enough women in politics. And I was looking at her, I was like, okay, yeah, sure, there are not enough females in the politics, but the problem that I see here, that you're not female either, you're just pretending to be a man in order to fit into your career. And that's not where I see myself. I don't wanna pretend that I'm a man to be accepted into a certain kind of field. If I am going into the man's world, I'm going there with my female's energy, and I will be keeping that energy with me. And I think there are different kinds of qualities that I can bring into whatever kind of profession that I choose to do. I think the way that girls are trying to become men at the moment is a very lethal and negative energy that we're bringing into the world. We're bringing this destruction of a manhood, of masculine energy, and then we have weak leaders in the world. Of course, if you're a woman, you can be a leader as well, but this kind of leadership is a different kind of nurturing energy that you're bringing in. We have stereotypes that we kind of pull together with the feminine energy, where we think that if you're a female, you need to kind of have a certain, you're a mother, you're bringing children into the world, you're taking care of your man, you're cleaning, you're cooking. No. Being a woman is also being powerful, but in a different way. For me, discovering my female energy has been really a challenge, because I grew up in a world where I was more of a man than a woman because of the things that were happening in my house, and I wasn't happy because all my relationships weren't fulfilling. And at a certain point I realized that my relationships are not fulfilling because I was controlling everything. I was controlling everything, and then I would go and shout at the man like, you are not taking care of me, you don't care about me. Yeah, but well, I wasn't even allowing him to take care of me. And yeah, so I realized, okay, I need to stop in order to be in order to allow someone to take care of me, I first need to let go of my control over them. How are they gonna control me? It sounds complicated. And that's why I kind of refuse to be a feminist anymore. I decided I'm just gonna be a woman, and that's enough. I will fight for the right to have an abortion, to have a divorce, to have equal rights at work, but I am not gonna fight for equal rights in my relationship because I already have them. It got into a point where I was a man that men were 100 or 200 years ago, where I was the one molesting and controlling everything. And under the right of feminism, under the right of having equal rights, but it's bullshit. You are a creator of your own relationship, and you need to see how your relationship is gonna look like. So if you are using feminism to become the exact man that you're fighting against, then feminism is not a solution to your problems. I want to talk about the power exchange a little bit more in the videos that I'm gonna be making, and power exchange is something so important and can be used so badly in a relationship when it's not spoken. If it's hidden away, if you're using power exchange to gain a leverage, then you're doing it wrong, even if you're a woman. But if you guys are talking about power exchange, and if you are talking about what you need and in what way you can help your relationship, that's something completely different. So being a feminist 20 years ago and now is a completely different story. I think we need to go back to looking at men as if they were human beings as well. It's not only us that can be hurt, that can be injured, but it's also them that can bleed the same way that we bleed. And if you wouldn't do something to a fellow female, why would you do that to a man? Think about that. And I hope I got a lot of your comments in the underneath the video, because I'm curious about what do you guys and girls think about the same subject. What do you think about feminism, and how are we using it at the moment, and what the world really needs? Does it need feminism, or it needs equal rights? And literally equal rights. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you liked it, and I'm curious to see what you guys think about this subject. And if you like this video, please do subscribe, and I love you.